Your Excellency, Lieutenant General Dahi Khalfan, Chairman of Hamdan bin Mohammed Smart University's Board of Governors. Your Excellency, Dr. Mansour Al-Awar, the Chancellor of Hamdan bin Mohammed Smart University. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Marwa Shalwani, and it's my distinct honor to welcome you all today in the first TEDx in Hamdan bin Mohammed Smart University. That is held under the patronage of Lieutenant General Dahi Khalfan Tamim, the Chairman of Hamdan bin Mohammed Smart University's Board of Governors. The world waits for no one. Those who do not learn and evolve can stumble and often fall. A quote by His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum that clearly points out a powerful life fuel: change. Well, change can affect almost every aspect of our life. You can simply decide to change your eating habits, or you can commit to walk 30 minutes daily as a well-being resolution. But you can go up to change your own mindset and a community mindset. And you know what? You can go up to affect the world's mindset. Thus, our TEDx theme is empowering change. But first, let's start with the TEDx introduction video.
From Kenya to Colombia, from Iraq to Korea, in slums, in schools, in prisons, and in theaters, every day people gather at TEDx events around the world to hear the best ideas bubbling up in their communities. Today, you are part of a global conversation about our shared future. So what is this TEDx? TEDx is an initiative of the TED Conference, a non-profit devoted to ideas worth spreading. We grant free licenses to allow TED-like events to spread globally. This event today is based on the TED Conference format and ideals, but is independently organized by your local community. So please make sure to thank the team of volunteers who worked so hard on today's event. It's their ideas, dedication, and time that made it all possible. It's they who booked all the speakers, and the views you'll hear today are, of course, those of those speakers, not necessarily of TEDs. We hope their talks spark an exciting conversation among you. This is a day for curiosity and for skepticism, for openness and for critical thinking, for inspiration and for action. The more you enter into it, the more you'll take out. And now, on with the show.
As a start to our event, I would like to invite to the stage Your Excellency, Dr. Mansour Al-Awar, the Chancellor of Hamdan bin Mohammed Smart University, to deliver the welcoming remarks.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. سيدي معالي الفريق ضاحي خلفان تميم، نائب رئيس الشرطة والأمن العام في دبي، رئيس مجلس أمناء جامعة حمدان بن محمد الذكي، حضرات السادة، أصحاب السعادة، الأخوة الزملاء، الأخوات، يشرفنا حقيقة استضافة تيدكس في جامعة حمدان بن محمد الذكي. ولمعرفتي لوجود عدد من الحضور ممن لا يتحدثون بالعربية، فاسمحوا لي أن نحول الموجة إلى اللغة الإنجليزية. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning. It's our privilege to have TEDx today in Hamdan bin Mohammed Smart University with a theme of embracing change. But I would like to share with you in this welcoming remark 3 different layers of change that has happened through the existence of Hamdan bin Muhammad Smart University. This university was the first incident that it brought change to the higher education. Before Hamdan bin Muhammad Smart University, and there is an era after Hamdan bin Muhammad Smart University. Before, where our education, higher education institutions were very traditional, very conventional. Hamdan bin Muhammad Smart University, it created a change, a disruption into the system of higher education. Today, people are all talking about online learning, and we were amongst the first. That's number 1. Number 2, I am privileged to have a mentor and a guide like His Excellency Lieutenant General Dahi. I have learned how to change things around from this man in front of us. He changed the perception of police force in the Arab world. He was amongst the first who introduced the concept of police stations to be all from the glass. People around him told him at that time that, Your Excellency, how come the police stations will become kind of appearance, have like a hotel? He said at that time that we are being instructed by His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid that the power of police is how to communicate with public, how to bring people together, and how much we are going to spread the concept of tolerance, التسامح, within the society. Today, the safe and safety that we are all living in United Arab Emirates is because of that particular vision that this gentleman had in the beginning. The third, which I conclude my remarks, Your Excellency, I was just to ask him, just before we just enter this arena, I said, Your Excellency, TEDx actually has everybody, every youth today, every one of you know how TEDx is today positioned in the world. But the gentleman in front of me, His Excellency Lieutenant General Dahi, was the first to initiate the idea 40 years ago in Dubai, within Dubai Police, to bring in the youth just to perform and broadcast in front, not just only people, but also in front of the microphone and cameras. And because of that has started the program for young generation, how to deliver talks, how to be able to deliver a speech, how to bring a change in terms of the mindset of people. It was his idea. 40 years ago, before even TEDx came into existence. So ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, dear colleagues, our dear sons and daughters, we are privileged once more that Hamdan bin Muhammad Smart University to host the event of TEDx. Finally, I would like to congratulate our Learners Council of their professionalism, of their dedication, of their commitment to make this happen. It was only, Your Excellency, 1 year ago when it was brought to their attention about the importance of TEDx, of how get the people together. They were the first Learners Council in the history of this university that they transferred and transformed that particular vision into a reality. So thank you very much, Mr. Hamad, thank you very much. And my appreciation goes also to those speakers today, that they are going to inspire us about embracing change, bringing change to their lives, and bringing their success stories. However, only 1 month from today, we will be having a conference which is called Innovation Arabia. this conference this year, we're going to bring in a platform, Your Excellency, that where people are going to talk about their failures, not about their successes. And there is a platform which talks about their failure. So thank you very much once more, Hamad and Muhammad Al-Dhafiri, for what you have done. And thank you also for the committee who were actually chose our speakers and assessed them before it gets to here. So thank you very much for introduction.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for this inspirational speech. And now I would like to give the stage to the TEDx organizer head, my colleague, Muhammad Al-Dhafiri.
Good morning. Everyone wants to change the world. I want to change the world. You want to change the world. We all want to change the world. But what does that really mean? And more importantly, can we change the world? And how can we change the world? The world changes very easily if I, you, we all become the change that we want in this world. Think about it. We meet at least 10 humans a day, and we interact with them. If I change the mindset of one human, and they change the mindset of another one and another one, I would have changed the mindset of 100 humans in the span of my lifetime. That's not a simple number. Nevertheless, change must start within yourself, as it is very easy to talk the talk, but immensely hard to walk the walk. If we are to achieve the greatest heights and change the world to the better, we must start with one change, and one change only. Mindset. You must change your mindset, as nothing is as powerful as a changed mindset. Hence, for TEDxHBMSU, we chose empowering change as a theme. Today we have 8 incredible and inspirational speakers. Listen to them attentively and closely, and you will get out with an idea or two. The road to TEDxHBMSU was not easy. On the 18th of May, we got our first application rejected, and they told us, you can't do TEDx at Hamdan Muhammad University. But that did not stop us. We got back again, and we submitted again an application. But this time, there was one difference. One human, one individual that made a difference. And she is sitting right here with us. To your left, or to your right, Sheikh Aasha Khalid Al-Qasimi, she is holding her phone, and she joined the team, and she gave us a great inspiration. To conclude, thank you for the TEDxHBMSU team, for the Learners Council, for your efforts, for putting up with me, and most importantly, thank you for your dedication. To conclude, empower your mindset, take action, stay consistent, spread positivity, and watch the world change. Thank you.
Thank you, Muhammad. I'm sure that everyone is excited by now. So, today, our unique speakers will take us in an extraordinary change journey that will reframe a variety of transformational ideas with their extreme passion and enthusiasm. Our first speaker, she is a lab supervisor faculty in biotechnology department from University of Sharjah and specialized in a human genetics field. Can a drastic change be a blessing? With Maryam Al-Ubathani.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. حينما كنا صغاراً قد يخيل لنا أن الحياة تسلب منا أرواح ذوي 100 عام فما فوق، ويخيل لنا أن الحياة تبتلي وتمتحن وتختبر صبر ذوي 50 عاماً فما فوق. أما حياة الرفاهية والمتعة والسفر والحب فهي مخصصة لعمر 30 فما أقل، ولكن كل هذا في الخيال، فما يفرضه الواقع وما يعكسه القدر إنما هو شيء آخر. المركز الأول في مسابقة التأليف المسرحي على مستوى دولة الإمارات، شهادة بكالوريوس بامتياز، شهادة مدرب تربوي متطوع، منحة الامتياز لدراسة الماجستير، ولقب الاكتشاف لطفرة جينية جديدة متخصصة لأصحاب الصم. ونشر هذا البحث كضمان للملكية الفكرية، ومتحدثة في مؤتمر علمي عالمي، ومطلقة. واقع تجربة لفتاة في منتصف 20 تحمل الامتياز، تحلق بالإنجاز، تحدد الهدف ومن ثم تصيبه. خريجة من القسم العلمي، حاصلة على امتياز في شهادة بكالوريوس من التقنيات الحيوية من كلية العلوم من جامعة الشارقة. انتقلت من تحت ظلال والديها لتشرق في حياة أخرى، أو بما يعرف بالقفص الذهبي. بعد الاختيار الذي كان بعناية ومشورة الله بركعتي استخارة، التقت الأرواح لتصبح في جسد واحد، فاللهم اغمرنا بالهنا والسعادة. وتتوالى الأفراح، فرحة تلوها فرحة تلوها فرحة أخرى، إلى أن اختتمت تلك الأفراح بهذه المكالمة: مبروك مريم، لقد تم منحك منحة الامتياز لدراسة الماجستير في جامعة الشارقة. أتذكر لحظتها أنني كنت أسعد إنسانة، وهرعت إلى والدي لأخبره بذلك الخبر، وبتمتمات من قلب محب وبدعوات صادقة: مبروك بنتي، وأخيرا بنتي بتحقق حلمي. لحظتها اعتقدت بأنني حصلت على كل ما أريده، وأنني حققت كل ما أريده، ولكن لم أكن أعلم بأن الخافية أعظم. وبدأت التغييرات تطرأ فجأة في حياتي، هل هو تغيير للأفضل؟ هل هو تغيير للأسوأ؟ عجزت عن التفكير تماما، إلى أن حدث ما حدث، وكانت لي النقلة النوعية في حياتي. درجة الفصل الدراسي الأول من الماجستير نون ساتسفاكتوري، غير مرضي، 2.8 من 4، كانت بالنسبة لي صدمة. قد يرى بعض بأنني أبالغ في ذلك، ولكن عندما لا تكون معتادا على الفشل، فإن لم تحصل على المركز الأول فالمركز الثاني ستصبح حتما بالنسبة لك صدمة. فذهبت إلى تلك الأيادي التي اعتقدت بأنها سوف تربت على كتفي وسوف تشد على يدي وتقول: لا بأس يا مريم، ما زال هناك متسع من الوقت للمزيد من النجاح، للمزيد من التفوق، للمزيد من الإنجاز. ولكن تركت هذه اليد لتناضل لوحدها. فمن هنا أقول شكرا لتلك الأيادي التي تركت هذه اليد في أمس حاجاتها، شكرا لكل كلمة ألم وأذى آذى الدواخلي، فما كانت لي دفعة للأمام لاتخاذ أقوى قرار وأصعب مصير. يقول ستيف جودن: إذا كان الأمر يخيفك قد يكون من المفيد تجربته. وبدأت من هنا أول خطواتي لإنقاذ ذاتي. في بعض الأحيان لا بد أن تتنازل عن أحب الأشياء إلى قلبك وأقربها إليك. لماذا؟ كي تنقذ بها روحك. ستتألم، لا بأس، يوم، أسبوع، شهر، سنة، بسبب قرار عقلي سليم أفضل من أن تتألم بسبب انجرافك خلف عواطفك. ومن هنا أستطيع أن أقول: لا ترفع سقف توقعاتك وتظن بأن الله سيحدث معجزة ما في حياتك طالما أنت متقوقع في مخاوفك. تخلص منها، فالمعجزة يرسلها الله لعبده الشجاع الذي يقبل على المعركة رغم غياب النتائج عنه. هل هو رابح؟ هل هو خاسر؟ هل هو مهزوم؟ هل هو منتصر؟ غاب عن باله ذلك، ولكنه أقبل على الخطوة الأولى. اللهم إني أستخيرك بعلمك واستقدرك بقدرتك، فإنك تقدر ولا أقدر، وإنك تعلم ولا أعلم، وإنك علام الغيوب. محامي، مستشار أسري، كاتب عدل، حكمين، قاضي، غرفة مغلقة، ما بين وبين، بين حب القلب وقرار العقل، بين أن أقدم أمام غريب بلا دليل لأستعيد ذاتي، وبين أن أتراجع خطوات للوراء وأظل بضعف الأنثى المكسورة، بين أن أقدم على إيقاف دراسة الماجستير رغم المتبقي سنة على التخرج، وبين أن أتمسك ببصيص الأمل وذاك الحبل الذي كان على وشك أن ينقطع. بين الجامعة والمحكمة وبين الامتحانات النهائية، وفي اليوم ذاته جلسة المحكمة الابتدائية وما بين وبين دامت لمدة 6 أشهر، وحكمت المحكمة وصدر الحكم النهائي لفتاة بعمر 24. أستطيع أن أتذكر تلك اللحظة وخروجي من تلك القاعة وبتمتمات قلب ضعيف مهزوم: اللهم اربط على قلبي، اللهم اربط على قلبي، اللهم منك العوض وعليك العوض. ومن هنا قد يكون أو قد أستطيع أن أعترف أمامكم أنني لا أتقبل الخسارة برحابة صدر وبرحابة قلب، وأنني لا أقبل بكلمة لا أن تكون الإجابة النهائية عن شيء بحثت عنه ورغبت به. ولكن ما لم أكن أعلمه بأن كل تلك الجروح وكل تلك الآلام التي كانت في داخلي ما كانت إلا مصدرا لدخول النور، وأن السقوط في ذاك البئر ما كان إلا لترتوي روحي وتعود للحياة من جديد. وبعدها عرفت أن سقوط بعض الأشياء قد تكون فاتحة خير لأشياء عظيمة ومفاجآت أكبر. كان الخيار أمامي بابان: إما أن أنجرف من هذا الباب أو من هذا الباب. فهذا الباب يقول لي لا، كيف سنواجه انتقادات الناس؟ كيف سنواجه نظرات الشفقة؟ صغيرة، ما زالت صغيرة، 24 عاما، لنعتزلهم ولنجلس هنا لوحدنا. أما الباب الآخر الذي كان يشدني إليه بكل ما أوتي من قوة: سنواجه العالم بإنجازاتنا وسننتقم من نظرات الشفقة بنجاحاتنا، وما كان بالأمس حلما سيصبح اليوم واقع. وانجرفت نحو هذا الباب وتعلمت معنى الصبر، معنى الصمود، معنى العثرات التي كانت بعشرات المرات، ولكن أن أنهض بعدها وأكون قوية مكتفية بذاتي. في بعض الأحيان تحتاج لتلك الضربة القاسية في حياتك، مؤلمة لقلبك، كي تعيد ثباتك، قوتك، تهيئتك، تصنيع دواخلك من جديد للمرحلة القادمة من حياتك وتكون كفءا لها. وعرفت أن بعض السطور لا يمكن أن نكتب نهايتها، لأن القدر كفيل بأن يكتبها. وبدأت تهل علي عطايا الرب، وكأنه بات يطبطب على جرحي الذي بات بالأمس يؤلمني. كيف يا ترى للسعادة أن تتشكل من خلال خبر في شاشة تلفاز؟ كيف يا ترى للسعادة أن تنبعث من خلال خبر في جريدة؟ كيف يا ترى للراحة أن تنبعث من خلال علامة في موقع الحرم الجامعي؟ وأول الأفراح هو ارتفاع المعدل في مرحلة ما بين وبين إلى 4 من 4، علامة كاملة. سيستغرب البعض الآن ويقول: كيف حصلت على هذه العلامة رغم مرورك بتلك الظروف القاسية؟ ولكن كنت أستمد القوة من نظرات أمي وأبي، من دعواتهم التي كانت ترافقني في الثلث الأخير من الليل. كنت أنظر إليهم وأقول: لن أجعل مني مصدرا للخذلان، بل سأجعل مني فردا تفتخرون به. ومن هنا إلى أن أصبحت مكتشفة لطفرة جينية جديدة متخصصة لأصحاب الصم. هذه الطفرة ليست جديدة فقط في الإمارات، بل جديدة في دول الخليج عامة، وتم عرضه في شهر الإمارات للابتكار أمام الشيخ عبد العزيز النعيمي، أمام الشيخ سالم القاسمي، أمام الشيخ فاهم القاسمي، أمام وزيرة السعادة وعهود الرومي وغيرهم الكثير. ومنه إلى وسائل الإعلام، التلفاز، جرائد، وسائل التواصل الاجتماعي، عرفت بهذا المسمى وبهذا الاكتشاف المكتشفة لطفرة جينية جديدة، إلى أن تلقيت ذاك الاتصال من القيادة العامة لشرطة دبي طلبا مني أن أعرض هذا المشروع أمام القائد العام لشرطة دبي اللواء عبد الله خليفة المري، وعرضت أمامه وقد أبلى إعجابا بهذا المشروع. ومنه إلى متحدثة في مؤتمرات علمية عالمية في فنلندا وفي التشيك، ومنه إلى أن نشر هذا البحث كضمان للملكية الفكرية في مؤتمر علمي عالمي وموقع معترف به. تعرفون، ممتنة لكل المنحدرات التي سقطت من خلالها، وبسبب ذلك الفشل أنا متواجدة اليوم هنا أمامكم جميعا من هذا المنبر، متواجدة لأوجه رسالة لكل فتاة ولأحاكي كل امرأة ولألامس قلب كل أنثى مرت مما مررت به أنا. لا تستهيني بذاتك، كوني فخورة بنفسك. فالمطلقة تستطيع أن تصبح مكتشفة، وتستطيع أن تصبح أستاذة تخرج من يدها الأجيال، وتستطيع أن تواصل مسيرتها العلمية والعملية. قد يتساءل البعض: البحث. بحثي لنتحدث عنه قليلا هو عن مرض فقدان السمع التام، متخصص بعلم الجينات. تعمقت مع أصحاب الهمم، أصحاب الصم، وتعلمت معنا نعمة السمع ونعمة النطق، ومنه تعمقت معهم كثيرا، وجمعت من لديهم عينة لعاب لإكمال البحث. كان يتطلب مني ما يقارب 50 عينة فما فوق. في بعض الأحيان كان يتواجد معي مترجم لغة الإشارة، وفي بعض الأحيان لا يتواجد معي، فبالتالي تعلمت لغة الإشارة لكي أملي نموذج الموافقة على جمع العينات. مثلا: السلام عليكم، كيف حالك، ما هو اسمك، كم عمرك، كم أخ وكم أخت لديك، هل عائلتك أقارب أم ليسوا بأقارب، هل والدتك ووالدك أقارب أم ليسوا بأقارب، لأن المرض المتخصص به هو من أصحاب الأمراض المتوارثة جينيا وليست بيئية مكتسبة. فتعلمت لغة الإشارة رغم أنني كنت أستصعب الموضوع في البداية. فمن هنا أقول لك، سواء كنت تحت أي مسمى، ابنة، أخت، أم، زوجة، مطلقة، أرملة، أنت كيان أنثى، لك احترامك، لك إجلالك، لك صوت مسموع وأثر ملموس. فأنت بك يسند المجتمع ودونك لن يكتمل. وشكرا.
Thank you, Miriam. We all felt that in our heart, and what a great start to our event. Moving to our next speaker. He is a graduate from University of Liverpool and majored in criminology, communication, and media. Age, is it just a number or a social limitation? The answer with Rashid Al-Raisi.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بداية حاب إني أتكلم عن شيء جدا مهم يعيشون الشباب واللي أصغر من الشباب. هي نقدر نسميها آفة ربما تكون شوي سلبية في مجتمعاتنا العالمية والعربية. كثير نقلل من الشخص اللي عمره أقل منا سنا، نقلل من أفكاره، ونقلل حتى من الطريقة اللي كيف يفكر فيها. اليوم أنا جاي أتكلم عن هذه الأشخاص، تقريبا إني أدافع عن اليوثs، أشوف وأقول لكم أن ليش العمر مجرد رقم. بداية كان عندي أنا حلم يوم من الأيام إني أكون خريج جامعة بريطانية والتحق إلى أصدقائي في بريطانيا، بحيث أن نجيب شهادة مختلفة عن باقي أصدقائنا. أول ما طرحت الفكرة الكثير منهم قال أنت ما راح تسوي هذا الشيء لأن عمرك أقل من المطلوب وأن فكرتك مش وايد كبيرة. أنا رحت بريطانيا بداية واخفقت في أول سنة، وأول شيء قالوا أن هذا الشخص صغير في السن ما يقدر أنه يوصل المكان اللي يبيه. فأنا كان عندي حلم مثل باقي أي أشخاص صغار في السن. الحلم بدايته كانت وايد صعبة، لكن اليوم الحلم أصبح واقع. بعد 5 سنوات رحت بريطانيا، عملت أكثر، والحلم أصبح واقع. الرسالة المهمة أن لا تستهين بالفكرة الصغيرة. صاحب الفكرة الصغيرة راح تتطور وتصير فكرة أكبر. ليش أنا جبت هذا اليوم؟ ليش أنا جبت هذا الموضوع؟ ليش أنا اخترت هذا التايتل؟ التايتل هذا لأنه وايد من الناس يواجهون هذه المشكلة حاليا. أنا جبت اليوم examples موجودة في العالم الغربي والعالم اللي نعيشه اليوم، في دولة الإمارات، في الدولة العربية، دولة الطموح ودولة الإنجازات. عندي لكم سؤال واحد: منو فيكم يعرف هذول الأشخاص؟ 1 2 3. ممتاز. لكن هم يعرفونكم، هم موجودين في كل بيت حاليا، موجودين في كل تليفون حاليا، موجودين عندنا ونحتاجهم، والناس يستخدمونهم as a business, as a work, as a entertainment. هم اللي سووا السناب شات. اللي سووا السناب شات كان عمرهم 20 سنة فقط. في الجامعة كانت الفكرة أصدقاء اثنين سووا هذا الآب، الكل استهزأ بفكرتهم، الكل استهزأ بعمرهم الصغير، ولكن اليوم أصبحوا عندهم احتكار فكري إبداعي متواجد في كل أنحاء العالم، أصبح مصدر رزق من هذا الآب. هذا دليل بأن العمر مجرد رقم. ثانيا أنا راح أجيب اليوم examples حية من بينكم يعيشون في نفس بيوتكم، من بينكم عندهم نفس الكوادر اللي عندكم، الاكومبنس اللي عندكم، اللي هم أديب البلوشي وعلي المنصوري. اليوم هم مخترعين، اليوم هم عندهم إنجازات كبيرة، مثل كثير من الطلاب والأصدقاء والصغار اللي حوالينا في بيوتنا عندهم هذا الفكر، لكن نحن ما نسمع لهم، نحن ما نشوفهم شو محتاجين. كم شخص اليوم متواجد عندنا سواء في تيدكس أو برا، عنده ناس عمرهم 14 أو 15 في بيوتهم ما نسمع لهم، ما نشوف شو عندهم، وحتى لو سمعنا لهم ممكن نشوف فكرتهم صغيرة، نشوف فكرتهم مش قوية، ما راح توصل لبعيد. ليش؟ اليوم عندنا اثنين وأكثر، وقابلنا كثير من المبدعين والمنجزين في دولتنا في الدول العربية والعالمية، صغار وصلوا القمة، أصبحوا أساطير، أفكارهم اليوم تحتكر في أنحاء العالم. أديب البلوشي عنده فوق 10 مخترعات تخدم الإنسان. علي المنصوري أرسلت خبرتها إلى صاروخ فرانكو اللي هو الجينات في الفضاء. هذه الفكرة أكيد كانت صغيرة، أكيد واجهوا عقبات، أكيد واجهوا مشاكل، لكن اليوم تدرس أفكارهم، تدرس مخترعاتهم، اليوم أصبحوا نتبنى مخترعاتهم وإنجازاتهم. الشيء الثاني والمهم، إذا اليوم بنتكلم عن اليوث وبنتكلم عن الشباب والطاقة الشبابية، أنا بجيب لكم مثال واحد اليوم. إذا اليوم جاك ولدك وقال لك أنا راح أصبح وزير بعد 10 سنوات أو بعد 20 سنة، هل راح تصدقه؟ الكثير منا راح يقول أن يمكن ما توصل هذا المكان، ولا تطمح وايد ولا تفكر وايد، ممكن أنا أستهين بفكرة الصغيرة، لكن ليش؟ أنا اليوم أملك أصغر وزيرة في العالم، أصغر وزيرة في العالم عمرها 22 سنة لما استلمت الوزارة. هذا أكبر دليل بأن أنت تقدر تطمح. لا تستهين بالعمر، لأن العمر يقدر يسوي أشياء كثيرة، مش شرط أنا أكون في عمر كبير بحيث أني أنا أوصل، ما دام أنا في دولة الفرص ودولة الإنجازات ودولة الإبداع. هذا أكبر دليل يوصلنا فكرة أن لازم نغير هذه الفكرة من اليوم رايح، لازم هذه الفكرة تتغير. بما أنا اليوم أصغر وزيرة في العالم. الشيء المهم اللي لازم الإنسان يفهمه، أن أنت بتواجه وايد عقبات، وايد بتواجه مشاكل، بتواجه أشياء سلبية وتحتاجها. كنا دائما اسمع من هني وطلع من هني، لكن أنا أقول لا، من اليوم رايح اسمع من هني وخلف عقلك. نحتاج السلبية، احيانا تحتاج انك تخالط ناس سلبيين. اذا انا كل يوم راح اقول لك شيء ايجابي وايجابي وايجابي وامدحك، ما راح توصل لمكان، راح يكون نفس الشيء. لازم في شيء عكسي بحيث ان انا يوصلني للمكان اللي انا متواجد فيه. كل اللي ذكرتهم اليوم اكيد واجهوا شيء عكسي، فاكيد انتم تواجهون هذا الشيء. لا تخلون هذا الشيء ياثر عليكم. عندي رسالتين اليوم، الرساله الاولى للبيوت، والرساله الثانيه للاشخاص المتضررين من هذه الآفة. أول شيء لكل بيت، المؤسسة راح تبني، راح تسوي، راح تعمل، لكن البداية تبدأ من البيوت. لا تكسرون هذا العمر، لأن هذا العمر جدا حساس. إذا أنت قلت لولدك أنك ما تستطيع، فعلا راح يعيش هذا الشيء، راح يتراجع. بهاي الطريقة أنت اليوم خسرت أديب ثاني وعلية ثانية وشمة ثانية. فكم أديب عندنا اليوم في البيت؟ كم علية عندنا في اليوم في البيت؟ كم معالي شمة اليوم عندنا في البيت؟ كثير. شو نعرف عنهم؟ خلينهم على صوب، ما نسمع عنهم، بيكبر بيداوم أي شغلة بيروح. لكن لا، أكيد عنده سايكولوجي منتاليتي، عنده فكرة معينة حاب يوصلها، لكن خاف مني، استحى إنه يقول فكرته جدا صغيرة. هذا الشيء لازم يتغير بحيث إن إحنا كنا نعيش. دولنا العربية، دولة الإمارات تحتاج أن نطلع هالموجة من المبدعين، وأنا متأكد من هذا الشيء، متأكد أن نملك موجة من المبدعين كثار، خاصة حاليا كنا نتكلم عن الإنجاز والتطوير. وتطوير الذات والامباورنج تشينج ما راح يصير إلا بدايته من البيوت. اول شيء من البيت. البيت هو اللي يطلعك انت كانسان كيف تطلع كمنجز وكمبدع. الشيء الاهم والاخير اللي حابب اقول لكم اياه: believe in yourself and be proud of your age. رقمك خليك فخور فيه، لا تخلي حد يأذيك برقمك، وافتخر برقمك واطلع واتكلم. انا كنت دائما اجلس في المجالس الكبار يخلونا على صوب، يتكلموا عن موضوع اقتصادي او سياسي، انا عندي الجواب بس ما اقدر اتكلم لانه هم ما راح يسمحوا لي اني اتكلم. فهذا خلى دافع لك انك تثبت لهم يوم من الايام انت شو عندك من قوه وشو عندك من اقتدار بحيث انك توصل للمكان اللي انت تبيه. توقف اليوم في تيدكس وتقول انا اقدر استوي، انا اقدر اكون وزير، انا اقدر اكون مخترع، انا اقدر اكون خريج من دوله كبيره. فهذا الشيء جدا خلى طموح لك. because age is just a number. شكرا.
Thank you, Rashid. Age is just a number, and the great minds have no limitation. And now, I would like to invite Your Excellency, Lieutenant General Dahi Khalfan, the Chairman of Hamdan bin Mohammed Smart University's Board of Governors, for a group photo with our speaker. Yeah, take it down. Dr. Mansour. Thank you. We were privileged to have you, Your Excellency. Dear guests, please remain seated as His Excellency makes his way. Moving back to our speakers. Our next speaker, she is a medical doctor that has a passion in a difficult yet very interesting fields: neuroscience and neurosurgery. My mind works, does it? With Noura Dosari.
Hi. So I have a question or two questions for every one of you here. The first question is, do we really think? Think about it. Do we actually think? The second question is, if we think, what are we made of? Are we made of mere organs, the brain, the heart, the colon, arms, skin? Or are we made of just the soul? Or is it just the brain that releases chemicals that controls how we function automatically? Take a look at this picture. What do you see here? Well, most of you might not recognize the difference between two pictures unless you've seen this picture before. But in this case, something called your unconscious mind works. I will define what your unconscious mind is. So let me flip the picture for you. Now you see the difference in Mona Lisa's mouths. The first one is upside down. Usually, if you don't train your unconscious mind, it is not going to recognize the difference. So what is the unconscious mind? Let's start with the fundamental of the mind. What is the mind? So let's imagine it as this room. Each one of you is a thought. So the room is the mind, and you are one thought. What are thoughts? So what's consciousness? Let me tell you. Consciousness is how you perceive things, is how you feel, how you touch, how you know a person, and how you recognize things, even when it comes to smell. You use all your 5 senses to recognize something, transform them into thoughts, and act upon them. So the unconscious mind that just worked, was it when you were asleep? You were fully awake. The unconscious mind does not work when you're in a coma or when you're dead. It doesn't even work when you're asleep. You would be 100% awake, but it works without you feeling it. So early philosophers and scientists wanted to map the mind and the brain from thousands of years ago. Have we come up with an idea? Well, let me tell you. You see here, this is an iceberg, isn't it? We are Titanic. We have no idea how big this iceberg is. We are going to crash into it, and we're going to get doomed. Unless we know that the iceberg is big enough. Unless we know that we should turn the other direction. So what we know about the mind is just the tip of the iceberg. This is what we know. What we don't know is beneath the water. How about I tell you what's beneath the water? So I defined conscious mind. I defined unconscious mind. So what do they contain? They contain 3 things. The id, the superego, and the ego. I'm not going to bombard you with definitions. I am going to give you another example. So I have been dieting my whole life, believe it or not. And I love chocolate. So for example, I see a chocolate bar. I am going to eat that chocolate bar. I'm going to steal it and eat it, and I'm going to be happy because my id told me to be happy, and it's so good, and I love chocolate. That's the impulsivity in this situation. This is the aggressiveness of hunger. Then comes my super ego and says, Nora, calm down. You're going to eat a salad. That's how it's supposed to be. You're overweight. You must not eat the chocolate. It's not good. This is the right thing to do, and do the right thing. Then I get depressed. Then comes my ego and says, hold on. Super ego, id, calm down. She's going to eat half of the chocolate bar. It's a win-win situation. She's not going to gain the extra weight. She's just going to eat half of it, and she'll be fine. So you need to know these 3 components, and you need to know how to balance between them in order to be the person you are. Okay, look at this image. So I just stormed in and told you all these definitions and all these examples, and you're like, so what is Noura talking about? There's a new science called social neuroscience. It bonds between cognitive psychology and neuroscience. They use an imaging technology called fMRI, or functional magnetic resonance imaging, that tracks regions in the brain following a certain feeling or thought. So they map where your thoughts come from. So there is a relation between your mind, which is something intangible, and your brain. Okay, so why am I still telling you this? I'll tell you. So I'm telling you this because you need to recognize what's important in order to overcome your obstacle. Let me give you an example. You've heard of breast cancer. You heard that 1 in 8 women develop breast cancer at some point in their lives. So a study in the United States was conducted upon women who had breast cancer. They told them, you are going to perform a surgery called mastectomy, which removes the affected tumor. They got one group and they got the other group. The first sample said, you know what? Yes, I was diagnosed with cancer. They took the tumor, and I'm going to beat this disease, whether life likes it or not. Guess what? They had an 85% higher chance of surviving cancer within 5 years. Another group came and they're like, you know what? It's not really cancer. We just wanted to like avoid it. So it's just prevention. Like there's nothing wrong with me. They were in denial. They took the situation negatively. And guess what? They only had a 15% chance of survival, even though both groups were at the same stage of cancer and they had the same procedure. Fascinating. Let me make it worse. Another study in the United States was performed upon people with end-stage cancer who had different types of cancers, from colon cancer to brain cancer to whatever there is. They got two groups and they asked them the same question. The cancer spread everywhere. We call it metastatic carcinoma. They asked the first group, how do you feel? The first group was like, I don't care if my life is ending. It's not going to end now. I'm going to spend time with my family and I'm going to live till the last day of my life. And I'm going to take this positively. It might be sad, but I am going to live for as long as it takes. The other group said, I give up. As simple as that. Guess who lived longer? The ones who actually took the disease positively, regardless of how awful it is. So if these people were able to take these diseases in a way that made them overcome them, each one of you is able to do something. We go through a problem every day in our lives. I'm not telling you because you're incapable of doing so. I'm telling you because I know that each one of you is able to overcome any obstacle, even if it's out of your control. Just know that you take control of your mind and not the other way around. So to conclude, you know your mind now. You know the deepest part of your mind. You know the end of the iceberg. And the last thing I can say here is the sky is your limit. Thank you.
Wow, Noura, our mind is very complex. So from desperation to ultimate inspiration, our next speaker, Mohammed bin Ghati, the CEO of bin Ghati Holding and the most influential leader in Dubai real estate in 2018.
أي واحد أهوس. If anybody in this hall opened a dictionary and looked up the word sad, they'd probably come across the definition feeling unhappy. But over the past few years in my life, I came to learn of another definition for sad. I came to learn that sadness is not only a feeling per se, but rather a very powerful form of energy. Some 6 years ago, when I was completing my bachelor's degree in architecture, I was approached one morning in university by a colleague who asked me to help her with the design project that she was doing. She wanted some advice. Of course, I said yes, and confidently started saying things like, perhaps you can move this door to this side of the room. Perhaps you could increase this area and decrease this area. And as we bounced back ideas, one of my professors walks into the design studio. He hears the conversation that's going on between us and comes up to the girl and in a very condescending tone tells her, "Don't take advice from this guy. If this guy knew any good, he would benefit himself." The amount of embarrassment and anger that I felt at that moment was tremendous. But of course, out of courtesy, I decided not to reply back to the professor's comment. However, what I did do was turn to the girl and in a very low voice tell her, one day, this professor will realize that he was awfully mistaken. Of course, I was left very upset from that experience. Days passed, weeks passed, months passed, years passed. I graduated from university, began my career in business, and 6 years later, today, I found myself as the CEO of one of the largest property developers in Dubai with an investment portfolio of a value of 4 billion dirham. You know, it was only 3 months ago where I got a phone call from a number which I perhaps didn't recognize. I answered the phone and I heard a familiar voice. Hi, Mohammed. How are you? This is your professor from university. I immediately recognized the voice. It was the same voice that had made me very upset 6 years ago. I said, hi, professor, how can I help you? He said, Mohammed, I'd like to catch up with you. I told him, by all means, you can visit my office anytime. So the next day, I found myself in my office with the professor sitting in front of me. And he says, I've been seeing the work you've been doing over the past few years, Mohammed. Very impressive work. You've literally changed the skyline of the city with all the towers that you're building. I told him, thank you very much. He said, I'd like to ask for 2 favors. The first is I'd like to rent an apartment in one of the towers, and I was wondering if you could give me a discount. I said, sure. He said that the other thing I wanted to propose was, I was wondering how open you are to the idea of me working as a design director within your team. You know, I really held the words inside of me. I was holding myself so bad from saying what was inside of me at that moment. I thought to myself, thank you ever so much, sir, for upsetting me. You gave me the energy to prove to myself, to you, to the girl, and to the world what I'm capable of doing. You see, if we study the lives the lives of some of the most successful people on this planet, we'll find one very interesting correlation. Each and every one of them, in one moment of their life, were faced with an experience that made them very upset. Steve Jobs, at the age of 30, was asked by the board of Apple to step down from his managerial position. The company that he formed himself told him to step away because they didn't agree on ideas. How do you think that made Steve Jobs feel? All I know is he came back with energy strong enough to make me and half the people on this planet carry this device. Oprah Winfrey. Did you know that Oprah Winfrey was once fired from her job as a TV presenter? They told her she wasn't good enough. How do you think she felt? She came back, made her own TV show, and I'm pretty sure you've all watched Oprah before. Lionel Messi, the football legend. At the age of 11, Lionel Messi was told that he cannot play in the football team, in his football team, because he was too short. How do you think he felt? Now, I don't think I need to tell you how good Messi is or how much of a legend he is. Michael Jordan, same thing. In college, Michael Jordan was told that he cannot play in the basketball team. How do you think he felt? Almost a decade later, we've got a legend that basketball history had never seen before. Last but by no means least, Thomas Edison. the guy that deserves a very big thank you for the light bulbs that allow you to see me in this hall today. Thomas Edison was told by his teachers that he was too stupid to learn anything. How do you think he felt? Being a poet from Arab origins and a lover of poetry, I'd like to wrap up today's talk by a verse of poetry which became a slogan to me in my life. It's written by a poet called Saad Alloush. He says, and I'll say it in Arabic, الحزن طاقة للدعاة وللطغاة وأنا طلعت من الجروح بفايدة إن لم تزد شيئا على هذه الحياة فتأكد أنك أنت حاجة زايدة. You see, sadness is an energy that can create a villain who seeks vengeance and revenge from those who made them sad. Or it can create a hero that proves to the world what they're capable of adding to this life. In my case, I chose to show the professor and myself and the world that I can be a hero. And I hope that anyone in this room who faces sadness in their life can use this energy to become a hero. Thank you.
Thank you, Muhammad. Sadness energy can really create a hero. And now it's time for some fun. Today, we have a young, talented student that would take us in her cheerful and musical world, Noor al-Dosari. Thank you, Noura, for this cheerful melodies. Going back to our speakers, she is the first Emirati PhD scholar in emotional intelligence and its effects on leadership in Hamdan bin Mohammed Smart University. What is forgiving or accepting with Maya Al-Hawari?
Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me all right? Yes? Killing is forgiving, or is forgiving killing? In 2014, I was an adjunct faculty in one of the renowned universities here in Dubai when Jay walked in on the first day of the semester. Jay was not like any other student I've met in my entire professional career. Jay was a woman dressed as a man. As she walked into the classroom to find a seat, many thoughts went through my head. And the one voice that spoke to me said, all you can do is give her her fair share of treatment and knowledge. By the end of the semester, Jay wowed me personally. She never skipped a class. She had every assignment on time. And she aced the course. But above all, she had great human ethics and values. Being the curious soul that I am, I actually called Jay to my office and asked her why. And she said, well, it's hormonal. Second, she said, I was abandoned by my father. And later on, as I grew older and my personality began to clear up, my mother left me as well. I have a lot of friends. I'm loved, very confident, yet I live alone. In 2015, a year later, I met T. T, on the first day of the semester, walked up to me and actually said, this is the only sentence you will be hearing me speak this whole semester. I am not interested in a participation grade. All I want is for you never to ask me a question in front of my peers. All I could do was respect her wish and ask her to find a seat. A month into the semester, I asked her colleagues, what's up with T? And they said, well, T's been here for 3 years, but she hasn't uttered a word with anybody. In fact, another one said, T is a snob. Again, I called T to my office and asked her what's going on. She said, I come from a good family. We communicate very well at home. However, I was bullied my entire school career. And in high school, I decided to isolate myself from everyone else. That carried over to university years. In university, I thought of suicide 3 times. Twice were just mere thoughts. But the one time, the window refused to open. At that point, I had to take a step back and ask myself questions. Why are we as a society so superficial? Why do we tend to take things at face value? We make assumptions, we form judgments, and we aren't so tolerant of each other. Even the word tolerate, you may agree, implies that there is something unacceptable about this being. And it also assumes that I'm forced to acknowledge something that is out of the ordinary. It's almost like having a type of food. If I like it, then I'll have it and I'll always come back to it. But if I despise it, I'll acknowledge that it's there, but I will never come near it. Even a mere Google search of the word tolerance, and this is what popped up. Look at the second sentence. An example of tolerance is Muslims, Christians, and atheists being friends. Doesn't that imply that they aren't? It also suggests that there is a conflict until this very day. But when have we changed to become so intolerant? I remember that we've been always patient, understanding, accepting of others. In fact, tolerance is an innate feature instilled in us human beings since Adam and Eve. However, the need for tolerance, as I dug deeper, changed from being a behavior to actually becoming a movement in the 18th and 19th century with the rise of the two ideologies, extremism and populism. And for those who don't know what they mean, extremism is having extreme political and religious views, and populism is actually believing that the word of the people is what counts, and whatever the elites and the elites say is just corrupt. So, as I dug deeper, even in 2018, fast forward to last year, the Equal Opportunity Employee Commission in the United States conducted a survey to over 100,000 employees to ask them if they were discriminated against. And many answered. They boiled down all the answers to 8 main types, but what was appalling is that it wasn't race or gender or religion that stood out as the highest discrimination type. In fact, it was discrimination by retaliation, i.e., human beings backstabbing each other. Now, I know it's a grim picture, and having said all that, as much as tolerance is an innate feature instilled in us beings, change is another innate feature instilled in us beings. Also, I come from a nation, the United Arab Emirates, where our sheikhs, our fathers, and our ancestors have given us hope. In 1966, the late Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan was appointed as ruler of Abu Dhabi, and he was chosen because he was a great listener, an effective negotiator, and a tolerant soul. In 1968, he was able to sit down with the British military and convince them to withdraw out of the land. And in 1971, he signed a treaty of friendship with the British military to make sure that they separated and parted ways with light hearts. A month later, a nation was born, and the same Sheikh Zayed was appointed as ruler of the United Arab Emirates. The sheikhs of today are no different and no other than their fathers. In fact, in 2015, the first federal law ending discrimination was issued, and in 2016, the first Minister of Tolerance was appointed. That very same year, the UAE National Tolerance Program, believe it or not, redefined the word tolerance with the United Nations. And in 2019, this year, it is the year of tolerance. In fact, 365 days to remind us of who we are as human beings. So, tolerance turns out to be the first pillar of being humans. It's the first type and first part to this journey back to humanity. If you are tolerant in your actions and not in your thoughts, doesn't make you tolerant enough. In fact, you need to accept. You need to agree to disagree and accept that reality. But also accept that bettering yourselves rather than bettering others in an assumption that we're perfect. Next comes understand. Understand, put yourself in their shoes. Ask questions like why and how. But be careful, there's a fine line between minding your own business and actually caring. Finally, forgive. Forgive is the highest form and most purest form of tolerance. You forgive people not for who they are, but actually for their actions with respect and kindness. Isn't unity what all creatures on this earth aspire to? Because in unity, there is strength. I end my talk with a message on Tolerance Day by His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. And he says that we see people equally as God has created us. We are only superior to each other by knowledge, adherence to the laws, and respecting this nation and other nations. Thank you.
Thank you, Maya. What a great and critical concepts. And moving to our next speaker. She is an ambitious student at Hamdan bin Mohammed Smart University and a practicing writer. My Pen and I versus the Norm with Fahim Al-Blushi.
I'm just going to stand here on this TED carpet and wait for you all to judge me. Go ahead. But it's only fair that I judge you right back, a tit for tat. That's how the world works. So I'm going to go ahead and divide this audience into 3 categories. The first category are the people who have already judged me. They're the ones who jump to conclusions. The second category are the people who are in the process of judging me. Good luck with that. And the third category are the people who will wait till the end of this talk to judge me. Very smart. I believe we have a judge sitting inside us all, waiting to announce the verdict of every person we see without listening to their cases. I also think that we won't know the reality of a person unless we take the first step to get to know them, or at the very least, have a conversation with them without judging them. I mean, isn't it fair? But we humans rarely do that. We humans have involuntarily labeled and tagged every nationality with one trait or another, even if we don't know anything about Hofstede's cultural dimensions. For example, Arabs are conservative. Their women are oppressed. We've heard that so many times, it's kind of getting old now, don't you think so? Or people in the Gulf region spend lavishly. They're so shallow. They're complete snobs. We've heard that, right? I'd like you all to take a moment and think back to a time when you were labeled by someone, either consciously or subconsciously. And did it ever touch a nerve? I bet it did. I realized this at a very young age, thanks to my neighbors. And you're all wondering, what do my neighbors have to do with it? Well, there's a story behind it. I'm a writer, I can't help it. A few years ago, when we were coming back home after visiting our family on a Eid day, as we reached home, we saw a woman in her late 40s ringing our doorbell. My brother, who was driving the car, got out of the car to talk to her. As we watched from the car, she handed him a bag of what seemed to be a weird-looking substance back then. Later, we found out that that woman was our European neighbor who had lived next door for years now, but we had never seen her. We never knew. She had given my brother a bag of newly caught fish and wished us all a happy Eid. It was a wonderful gesture, a beautiful gesture. But I remember asking myself 2 questions that day. Number 1, why did it take us so long to get to know our European neighbors? And number 2, why weren't we the ones to make the first move? I thought about it a lot, and I think it was stereotypes and labelings and generalizations that came in the way. So what did I do? I decided to fight stereotypes with my writing. I write because I think writing is the loudest and clearest of all arts. But my writing never really had a purpose until that year in junior high and that Eid. After that incident, I began writing a story and posted it on a site called Wattpad, targeting youth as my audience with the aim to eliminate stereotypes that people had about our culture. I created Mahra and voiced my concerns through her for people living 7 seas across. And that's where the fun began. In the first chapter of my story, I wrote about the daily routine of an independent Emirati woman. My readers, although very few, but were hooked. They would ask me questions like, so what's UAE? And another reader would reply by saying, I think it stands for United Arab Empire. Or, what's the shayla? Is it the hijab or the abaya? And this is my personal favorite. Is kandora a type of food? They'd ask me. They were curious, and I loved it. At least I had their attention now. So I went ahead and I wrote another chapter. In this chapter, I showed them the relationships that we share with our siblings, with our families. I let them dive into our society and our culture, and they loved it. They would tell me things like, take me to the UAE then, or Abu Dhabi's on my bucket list. Most of the incidents were influenced by my surroundings, the tiny little details and gestures that we do on a daily basis without realizing how precious they actually are. For example, if a character would enter his home and kiss his mother's forehead as a greeting, at that, the girls would bombard me with questions like, is this real? Do you guys do this on a daily basis? And I'd be like, yeah, why else would I fake it? But sometimes they would tell me things like, your men are overly protective. And I would show them all the right reasons they should be. Or they would say that, your women are not independent, they're not respected. And I would give them a glimpse of reality. And I say reality. I'm not saying perfection, I'm not saying fiction, I'm saying reality. Therefore, in the last few chapters of my story, I made one of my characters do something very loathsome. But I had full confidence in my readers that they're not going to judge the entire nation based on one character's wrongdoings, and they didn't. They showed me that through their comments. Gradually, the story received a huge fan following worldwide. 35 chapters into the story, I have 2.3 million views and 69,000 votes. But I'd like you all to note that I'm not here to promote myself as a writer, and I'm not here to promote my story, because I haven't given you my pen name, I haven't given you the title to my story. I'm here because I'd like to share my experience of changing mindsets, which is a very difficult job and a huge responsibility. But we have to start somewhere. After all, it's the incremental changes that lead to a greater radical change. And finally, all I can say is, I can't fight the battle of stereotypes on my own. Therefore, we all need to step up as one nation with tolerance and an open mind. We make sure that we don't live up to negative stereotypes. We cherish our culture because without it, we would be nothing. You know, it's funny that we're here today talking about change empowerment, but the only thing that I wouldn't want to change is our values, our beliefs that make us stand out in any crowd, and we shouldn't take them for granted. Thank you.
Thank you, Fahima. What a great tool to change people's mindset. Moving on, our next speaker, she is a clinical dietitian in a Cleveland Clinic in Abu Dhabi, a student in Hamdan bin Mohammed Smart University. Can we embrace our negativities? With Munah Shangaiti.
positive. Don't worry about it. You know what? Just forget it. How many times have you heard these words? What does it really mean to be positive? And how can we deal with the two sides in our life? The positive and the negative. I'm a clinical dietitian, and like any other dietitian, while going through psychology in order to understand my clients and empower their behavior change, I found myself fascinated and drawn into studying positive psychology. I fell in love with the balance of this evolving science by the embrace of the whole nature of a human being. We're going to start with a quick exercise. So I'm going to ask everyone here to close their eyes and follow my instructions. So if you could do this thing for me, please. Can you all please close your eyes now? Thank you. And try to think of something that you can do very well. Something that doesn't require you much effort. You just do it easily and perfectly. It could be a strength you have, a talent, or something you enjoy. I want you to see yourself doing that thing. I want you to relive the energy that filled you back then. Maybe the excitement. Hold on to those emotions for a second. You may come back to the room now. Open your eyes. Wow, look at your smiles. So, how did that make you feel? And what if you could experience those emotions frequently while going through your everyday challenges and struggles? We have a natural negativity bias built in our minds, which is very normal and universal, in order to help us get things fixed or survive in this life. So whenever there's something that doesn't feel right, or maybe a risk around us, our mind is wired to shift the attention into the negative. However, if that negativity bias takes over and dominates, it may result in missing out other sides that we have. Each one of us has a unique combination of strengths and weaknesses. Some people may try to stop me here and ask me to avoid calling weaknesses, that I should try to describe them as a challenge or an area to improve. And they're right, but I'm really sorry. I just want to call them weaknesses today. I mean, as a human, what's so wrong about having a weakness or feeling bad at times? Todd Kashdan, a researcher in psychology and well-being, is always telling us that embracing your whole self, not just your good one, can bring success in your life. That rather than trying to eliminate or completely avoid what doesn't feel right, but trying to listen to these things carefully and interpret the messages behind them, they slowly become very useful pieces of information. Barbara Fredrickson, another leading name in this field, specifically studying positive emotions. She brings a very interesting concept in the field: positivity ratio. So she finds with her team that an optimal positivity ratio is something above 3:1. So 5, 4, or 3 positive experiences, thoughts, to 1 negative experience. What if that ratio is down to 2:1 or 1:1? Then we're just okay, barely okay. What caught my attention was that 1 in the negative side. It's a 1, it's not 0. What could happen if that 1 is really down to 0? Can you guess what happens if we are happy all the time, nothing bothering us? I'm not very sure if that's realistic, but let's pretend it happened. Nothing special. We are just happy all the time, but missing out all the benefits of being positive. Things like flourishing, learning, being creative, and building resilience in the hard time. They all need that one in the ratio. They all need a touch of negativity in order to be inspired. What about things that we feel we can't do very well? The things that I decided to call today weaknesses. Back in school, whenever I had to change my school multiple times, and even when I started in my college, I needed each time a year or two to make a new friend. Whenever I'm in a social gathering, meeting with new people, I'm usually the observer. I take a step back and try to get to know people before trying to engage with them. I didn't know that this observing stage was the wall that I built between myself and others. When I first joined my workplace, I was speaking with someone I trust, and I told her about what worried me the most. Is it going to take me another year or two to be engaged with my team? And she told me, look, Mona, you are a very curious person. You love to learn new things. Why don't you, the next time you meet with people, ask them a question or two? Try to learn something new about them. And I did. Since I started doing that, not only with people in my team, I socialized with many people around in the organization. As an introvert, I was very surprised by the number of people I got to know in less than a year. So, this is the trick. You're not doing well in this area. What else can you do well? Can you utilize that to compensate? Didn't work? Should you consider teaming up with a partner maybe, who has the thing that you need? What if you did invest all you have to deal with a weakness, but nothing worked for you? Then comes my next question. Is it a weakness that you could just continue to live with, but then have more capacity to work on other things in your life more efficiently? Which brings us to a very important question. Is it more beneficial to work on a weakness or on a strength, if we get the option to choose one? There was a study on 2 groups of employees who worked on each. And the study actually found similar outcomes for working on both in the short term. However, people who worked on their weaknesses were finally relieved the study was over compared to those who worked on their strengths. They enjoyed it, and they maintained the change over a longer period of time. So it was more sustainable. Plus, it has other psychological benefits to your well-being. So let's spend some more time talking about your strengths. A while ago, when I asked everyone in the room to close their eyes, if you couldn't think of a particular thing, believe me, it's not that you don't have any. You're just not aware of them. Because when you have a strength, you do something very easily and naturally until somebody points that out to you and tells you, hey, this is actually amazing. And you may go like, well, that's easy. Anyone would have done the same. How many times did you say that? So try to pay more attention to these things that you can do very easily, efficiently, things that would energize you rather than drain you. Do more of these things that would help you step into your potential. Researchers like Martin Seligman, the father of positive psychology, and other people in the field are telling us, if we identify our signature strengths, if we utilize them frequently, if we become the best of who we are most of the time, that's going to help improve our levels of well-being, satisfaction, self-confidence, and even reduce stress and depression in our life. And there are many scientific tools out there that you can try to use to help you identify them. But they also remind us of something very important here. We need to make sure we are utilizing a strength in the right time, the right place, and the right intensity to avoid turning a strength into a weakness. So remember, balance is always a key. Try to embrace your whole nature. Try to be more comfortable with feeling uncomfortable at times, and invest in your strengths. They are the magic within you. Thank you.
And last but not least, Mohammed Al-Madfa'i, a CEO of Emirati Coffee Company and a Managing Director of Al Salama Fire Training Safety. Want your startup to be successful? Hear Mohammed closely.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you to all my speakers, to all the speakers that came before me. Honestly, we all got inspired and learned so much. Did you know that there are more people today alive? Today on the 26th of January, there are more people alive than ever have died from the beginning of time. So from the time of Adam until today, all the people have died. There are more people alive now. That's a shocking fact. That's a fact that puts things in perspective. Where in the late 70s, or in the early 70s, a man was sitting on the floor with a couple of British consultants. Those consultants were telling this man that your city has a population of 30,000 people. 30,000 people living in your city. Therefore, you need a highway of 1 lane. 1 lane going and 1 lane coming. The city won't increase in population, maybe a 10% on a yearly basis, but you wouldn't need to expand. The man said, I would like 4 lanes. They're like, all right, you got the money to pay for it. We'll give you 4 lanes. Today, that man has created a city and had a vision for this city. Sheikh Zayed, may Allah have mercy on his soul, had created a city that went from 30,000 people to over 3 million people today. A 10,000% increase in population that never happened anywhere. He told those British people that people will come, and I know they're going to come. And they came. Today, the population of the youth in the Arab world are 100 million. 100 million people living in the Arab world. 32% or 30% of the youth in the United Arab Emirates are 30% are youth in the United Arab Emirates. Therefore, the youth is the future, and our government focuses on the youth. We have the first youth minister. We have organizations and initiatives that supports the youth and actually has the vision knowing that the youth are the future. But where is their future? Their future is in industry, their future is in politics, in diplomacy, in government, and in startups. Not everybody can be a government employee, not everybody can be an engineer, not anybody can be an innovator in any way, but people can become leaders of their own and start startups. So I spent 7 years in the United States. I lived from the year of 2006 to the year of 2012, completely spent in the United States of America. And my mom said, it's time to come home or we're going to come get you. And I was like, okay, I'm coming back. But when I was there, I went to study and I dropped out of school. I went to study aerospace engineering. And this is not for me. And I went out into the US market before the recession hit. and started my own startups. Started working on myself, worked odd jobs. I worked as a librarian, I worked as a night school teacher, I worked as a janitor in an old people home. I got the experience that humbled me and taught me that you only get what you put in. Now, based on this, there's a lot of studies that were made showing what is the factors that increase the success rate of a startup, of a company, of somebody that wants to do change in this world. All what we've been hearing throughout these, with all the amazing speakers here today, that we need to change the world, we need to do better, we need to empower ourselves, we need to be tolerant, we need to be that. But how? How can I give myself a chance to become more successful, more productive, and give back? In 1997, or in 1999, there was a company called Z.com. This company had the idea, the business model, they knew how they were going to make money, they had the funding, they had celebrities lined up outside their doors, what we call today influencers on social media, wanting to sign up to support this product. It was an online entertainment system. They had it all right. They were before everybody, before YouTube, before any other company. But they failed. In 2 years, 2000, they closed their doors. Yes, the dot-com boom happened, the dot-com bubble burst, and there were failures in the market, but they failed, although they had everything planned out. Why? So based on that, when you wanted to download or watch, people actually watched TV more than they were on their computers. Bandwidth penetration, the amount of people that had internet in the United States was so low. In 2002, Adobe Flash was created. So people now can stream videos on their computer even faster. Bandwidth penetration reached 50% in the United States. So everybody had internet. And YouTube came on the scene. YouTube didn't have an idea. They didn't have a business model. They didn't have the money. They didn't know what they wanted to do. But now Google is worth over $1 billion, in the multis of billions of dollars. And what is the reason? So these are the 5 factors that allowed Google to become successful. The first factor is timing. If people are not ready for your product, if people don't care about your product, if people don't want your product, they don't need your product, it is the wrong timing. If people can't access your product, it is the wrong timing. So timing is the biggest success factor for any kind of startup. 42%. So when they looked at hundreds of startups, any startup that is existing today, they looked at this startup had a 20% higher chance to succeed due to the timing. Once it's time, you need to have the team. Either yourself, knowing what you want to do, or have people around you capable enough to deliver and execute on the third factor, which is the idea. Everybody here will say, I got an idea. Everybody has ideas. Everybody has ideas. Everybody wants to make a difference. Everybody wants to make an impact, yet ideas are not enough. If you don't have the 2 other factors before your idea, it won't work. You know, Mike Tyson said, everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face. So having a plan is not enough. Then comes the business model. Now you're in the right time, you're in the right market, you have the team around you to build your product, you have the idea of what you want to do, the business model will come. You will put it in the market, you put an alpha version, a beta version, whatever way you would actually access the market with having those 3 factors, you will know how to deliver your product to your customer, how are you going to sell it, how are you going to price it, etc. And financial backing is the last factor and the least important factor. In today's world, people think If I want to do a change, I have to have money. If I want to make an impact, I have to have money. If I want to inspire, I have to have money. But if you have the idea, if you're in the right time, and the people around you believe that it is the right time, you'll get the finance. Finance is the easiest thing to get today. There are a lot of venture capitalists, angels, investors, government initiatives out there to support you to put your product out, or to put your service out, or whatever you want to do. Maybe it's an NGO to change the world. In 2013, I came back to the United Arab Emirates after being in Korea for several months. And when I was in Seoul, I got inspired by the coffee culture. I went in to all the major malls, Dubai Mall, Galleria Mall in Dubai, and I asked them, I would like a location to start a specialty coffee shop. And the people in charge of leasing were looking at me funny. It's like, what do you mean specialty coffee shop? We have Lavazza, we have Illy. No disrespect to commercial coffee. But I wanted to provide the market with a better quality product at an affordable price. They didn't believe in my idea. And it was the wrong timing. If I opened that back then in 2013, people would not get it. People are not into that culture of what we call today a Spanish latte. It doesn't make sense to them. It was the wrong timing. In 2016, late 2016, we observed the market again. It was the right timing, and we went in. And today, Emirati Coffee is the largest specialty coffee roastery, not coffee shop, roastery, supplying over 90 coffee shops from Jordan, Beirut, Oman, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE, Seoul, within a span of a year. Why? Because we had the right time. People wanted the product. They're looking for it. We had the team to execute. We had the idea of what we wanted to provide, how to differentiate ourselves from any other coffee roastery. And we had the business model, putting ourselves in the shoes of the customer, applying empathy. Empathy is one of the most important factors in business, and people don't realize that, because in empathy, you will be able to deliver a product that will connect to your customer, putting yourself in their shoes. And empathy is a major, major, major aspect of tolerance. So I would just like to end today with summarizing the 5 factors, and I hope this would help you to increase your chances of becoming successful as a business person or as an entrepreneur, what they call us today. And let's live today for a better tomorrow. Wa alaikum salam.
What great tips to conclude our event for today. Thank you to all our amazing speakers, your outstanding audience. TEDxHBMSU wouldn't have been a success without each and every one of you. And now, I would like to invite Your Excellency, Dr. Mansour Al-Awar, the Chancellor of Hamdan bin Mohammed Smart University, for the certificate recognition. Starting for our speakers, Maryam Al-Awbathani, راشد الرئيسي. تمي جروب. نور الدوسري. محمد بن غاطي. مايا الهواري. فهيمة البلوشي. منى الشنقيطي. and محمد المدفعي. جروب فوتو. Second, the exclusive sponsor, Benghazi Holding. And now, the incredible team of organizers and volunteers that made TEDxHBMSU possible to all of us. First, the organizers, Sheikh Aasha Al-Qasimi. حمد الشحي. أبي مهنا. أمين عبد الرزاق. هاجر السعيدي. هديل المرقب. فاطمة الخيسي.
And our amazing LC Marwa Shalwani.
ماستر هوسبيتال مانجمنت.
وين عندهم الشيء هاي؟ خاشينها. برافو عليك.
And our colleague محمد الظفيري. Group photo for the organizer. خذي حرفين.
Can we have a big round of applause for this wonderful team?
And now our amazing volunteers. Noura Abboud. She is not here. علي الشاعر. مريم الكوهيجي. عمر بن يعقوب. فاطمة سليمان. عاشة العوبثاني. سارة الزارعي. فاطمة حامد.
بس
منى حامد. عاشة صفر. and عامر بن حريز. Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you. Thank you all for your attendance. I would like to invite you all to the lunch, and for the prayer room, it would be in the mezzanine floor. Thank you.
Thank you, Marwa. Before the lunch, we would like to have a simple surprise from Muhammad al-Dhafari's mother for him. It's a simple cake for everyone to share. So, Dr. Mansour, we would like you to cut the cake, please. I'm inviting all the speakers to come and join here, please.